10 minutes of Q&A. I'll
Nice.
give you the money back
That's
here,
it.
2 minutes left, and, okay?
Okay.
Because
So whenever you're
we can
ready.
take it as far as we want, but if we don't, the
All right.
university's gonna, yeah.
Oh, and there's a camera. I gotta make sure I button my jacket. This will be my last video presentation of commerce.
You didn't have to bring that up.
I know, Nick.
Just so you know, we love.
I love y'all too. Nick, you can counsel everybody who's grieving.
All right, I can do that.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Thank you all for, of course, hanging in there for Fraternity and Sorority Life. My name is Zach Shirley, and for about another week, I am still the director for Fraternity and Sorority Life here at A&M Commerce, and the rest of our staff is in the back. I will be doing the majority of the talking, and they can chime in whenever they feel fit. So this is our budget presentation for FY18. So we talk about the mission of Fraternity and Sorority Life and how it is impactful on the campus community at A&M Commerce. What we really believe is that we are one of the many entities that allows for students who are affiliated with our program to participate in scholarly activities through speakers and educational seminars that we offer, as well as many of the leadership development opportunities and community service initiatives that we offer, whether it be standalone with Fraternity and Sorority Life or in collaboration with other campus departments, such as leadership engagement and development. In support of the A&M Commerce mission, we provide co-curricular leadership opportunities. We know that one of the goals that we have as A&M Commerce is to prepare our students to be interconnected citizens in a global world. And so we really believe that the offerings that we have for our members within Fraternity and Sorority Life, which is about 475 to 500 members, gives them that opportunity. We also look to offer innovative developmental opportunities through programs and conferences, and again, educational speakers and retreats that I talked about a little bit earlier. So some of our programmatic expenses for FY17, the major ones, I didn't talk about everything, but if you need that information, our administrative assistant Misty has put together a phenomenal breakdown on a spreadsheet for us. But one of the main things that we really want to do in the fall is educate our students on hazing prevention and alcohol awareness. So we had a speaker, Dr. Gigi McCreary from the Incurn group, who they really deal with Title IX conversations and issues, came and had a presentation with our students, not only talking about hazing prevention, but also talking a little bit about alcohol as well, which allowed us to essentially kill two birds with one stone. Both Hazing Prevention Week and Alcohol Awareness Week are in the fall, and so we try to really offer opportunities for students to be a little bit more educated on those issues as well. We did a co-sponsorship with the Leadership Engagement and Development Department for Jane Elliott, which we think was really eye-opening for the students who did have the opportunity to attend that, and also sent a couple of students with collaboration with the Seeds Department to Social Justice Training Institute, which allowed them to really learn a lot about social justice issues and respecting the narratives of other people, such as gender pronouns that they may use, which is an up-and-coming trend within our collegiate campuses these days. Continual for spring 2017, we believe in development of our leaders, as we said before. So our Fraternity and Sorority Life Leadership Retreat was in the spring, and we had the opportunity to bring in some speakers for that opportunity as well, to talk about career development and translating your Greek experience into the real world, as well as diversity and inclusion issues, and educating them on the student code of conduct. Because as students here at A&M Commerce, we believe that being citizens who respect that code of conduct will allow them to then infiltrate that into their peers as well. We took some students, our Assistant Director Gina Page Wilson took some students to the Association for Fraternal Leadership and Values Conference in Indianapolis, where they had a chance to meet with Greek students from across the nation and discuss what their Greek experience is like on the campus and share ideas for programming, leadership development, community service, and just build those relationships with brother and sister peers from other institutions. Also, Meet the Greeks during Lions Leap. We believe in supporting Lions Leap and the programs that the university offers, and so we went ahead and sponsored a program for that, and then eating disorder awareness as well. Just a few more of our expenses for the spring, and we have some that are coming up as well. We really, again, believe in supporting our university programs, and so we're sponsoring some students to go to our Summer Leadership Summit as well. Upcoming expenses, again, Summer Leadership Summit, Summer Orientation Programming to educate incoming students about fraternity and sorority life, the Undergraduate Interfraternity Institute in Indianapolis, and an event for Lions Roar, our Fraternity and Sorority Life cookout, plus giveaways, because who doesn't like giveaways? Some of our goals for FY18 include increasing the participation in our community, as well as the recruitment of new chapters for Fraternity and Sorority Life. We'll be adding 1 chapter by the end of the spring semester and 3 additional chapters by fall 2017. And that's it.
Okay, let's go to questions.
Questions? I'm much better at asking questions than being a talking head towards people. Yes, Will.
Sure. So, can you clarify, in looking over wages, you have council presidents listed. How many council presidents do y'all currently
We
have?
currently have 4.
So, operating that from your stipend, 15 hours at 4.5 months, the rough math I did broke down into $41 an hour a student.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel as though that's a bit excessive in paying individuals $41 an hour as a stipend for a great council president?
So we've looked at lessening that stipend before, and we toyed around with the idea of removing it altogether, but then we look at the work that they do with our council. So for instance, our Panhellenic Council President, she works with leading sorority recruitment, along with our Vice President for recruitment and Assistant Vice President for recruitment. Recruitment of new members into the Panhellenic community. Our MPHC President looks at spearheading one of the biggest events for our homecoming week, the MPHC Homecoming Step Show and After Party, as well as putting together various risk management workshops for the MPHC students. Our Interfraternity Council President, same thing as our Panhellenic Council President, when it comes down to recruitment, they have a huge role in putting a number of people hours to recruit individuals for that council and those organizations. And our Multicultural Greek Council President is extremely busy in helping to grow the Multicultural Greek Council community, so that person puts in a lot of hours as well. If we had to, we wouldn't have an issue in reducing that somewhat, but we also, again, appreciate the work that they do, because they put in a lot of hours that we as the professional staff don't get to after hours.
Which are not calculated into the $41 an hour.
Thank you.
So each time that they do attend an event, or each time that they are putting that additional hours on, those are not hours that they are getting paid for. So,
So, just-
Yes, sir.
so as a student who is not a Greek,
Mhm.
that is, so I'm coming from this from the outside perspective, and to ask that, like, when it comes to funding, not necessarily the salaries or the benefits, or the traveling, but when it comes to perhaps,
Or maintenance and operations or professional development.
well, yeah, I mean, because those help y'all. So, marketing, programming, when it comes to these, why don't the individual Greek organizations raise their fees to help pay? Or, because student services fees to help, as an additional auxiliary kind of function to
Mhm.
campus. And just like athletics, or it's very similar to athletics, Greek life is a component of American universities. So
Mhm.
why isn't that a focus instead of student services fees? You can answer that.
Sure. So our councils also, they charge their chapters an assessment for dues. A lot of what those dues go to is, and I can break it down again by council. So our Panhellenic Council, which are our 4 Panhellenic sororities, they pay for the software that is required to run Panhellenic formal recruitment, which comes out to be about $500. They also pay an assessment to the National Panhellenic Conference, national headquarters in Indianapolis, which comes out to be $400. They also do a lot of their own marketing within Panhellenic. MPHC has raised money through the MPHC Homecoming Step Show to put back into the Step Show, but then there are years when, security goes up, or marketing goes up, or they want to sponsor a scholarship for some students, because that's typically what that money is used for. And so they will utilize that pot of money for that as well. Same with our Interfraternity Council and our Multicultural Greek Council. So they do have assessments that they charge one another. However, when we look at programming for Fraternity and Sorority Life, we look at our leadership retreat. We look at Hazing Prevention Week. We look at Alcohol Awareness Week. We look at the Meet the Greeks for Lions League, or the Fraternity and Sorority Life barbecue cookout for Lions Roar. We look at helping to supplement some of those opportunities for students to go to their regional conferences or their national conferences, and the Undergraduate Interfraternity Institute, as well as the opportunity to hopefully collaborate with some other university departments as well, because again, knowing how small we are at A&M Commerce departmentally, the Jane Elliott conversation was one that we helped co-sponsor. And really providing those opportunities not only just for our Greek students, but for our Greek students and our unaffiliated students as well to have access to programs, and with Fraternity and Sorority Life partnering with other people to help make that happen.
So as a clarification, I guess you could say, when it comes to marketing programming, it is in a way the university trying to bring together the different Greek organizations, not put strain on any particular one,
Right.
and protect the unity, I guess, in a way.
Right, because some council, for instance, our MPHC has 8 organizations in it. Our Panhellenic only has 4. Our IFC only has 4. Our Multicultural Council has 3 and 1 coming. So MPHC has an opportunity to do a little bit more of their own funding as opposed to the smaller councils with fewer organizations. Yes, ma'am.
What percentage of commerce students are part of the Greek life?
A little bit under 4%. So last time I checked, which was this week, 3.78%.
Is that 475 students?
Yes, ma'am.
So I just have a question.
Sure.
I know the students all pay dues. So why don't those dues go to pay something like the panel and council bill and some of those others, or do they?
So the dues that the women pay for the sororities and the men pay go to the assessment for their national headquarters and their regional board.
They don't
So-
stay here locally?
No. So there, for instance, every national organization has insurance. They can't exist on our campus without insurance. So their assessments that they are charged by the organizations goes to pay that insurance, or goes to pay risk management, or goes to pay the headquarters staff for that organization. And so really, as soon as those young women and young men pay that money, it's gone to their national headquarters. And so on top of that, when we assess the chapter dues for the councils, that's an additional expense that our students have to incur. And knowing that a lot of our students work 2-3 jobs, we really try to stray away from putting that much of a burden on them to pay additional dues for their experience. So we really don't assess that as well.
Could,
Yes, sir.
well, I don't want to, Chairman, you go first. but-
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine. What about these leadership retreats in which they're not, just purely fraternity or sorority based? Why can't you collaborate with other organizations on campus, such as the Seeds Department with their leadership retreats that they have to lessen the cost?
So, let me see if I'm understanding your question correctly. So, are you speaking in terms of, like, say, Summer Leadership Summit?
Any of the leadership events.
So, what we've done, we've worked very closely with at least the lead department to get more Greek students to attend not only SLS, but also iExperience and anything else that they offer. Right now, with Seeds, we haven't really seen anything that jumps out at us for Seeds to, like, send our students to. One thing that Seeds has done is the Southwestern Black Student Leadership Conference that we've partnered with them. But in terms of utilizing fraternity and sorority life funds just for, say, our culturally based organizations, we want to stay away from that because it may seem like we're giving more to one sector of students versus the other. We try to be as even as possible, which is why we utilize Summer Leadership Summit and iExperience and things that lead us versus something a little bit more specific, like, say, what Seeds would do.
Got about a minute and a half.
Given the financial constraints both the university and the state are facing in the
Yes,
current
sir.
legislative session, if you had to, what would be areas in your budget that could be cut?
So we would definitely look at cutting Greek Week. As much as we wouldn't want to, we've toyed around with the idea of, is it more important for there to be programmatic offerings or leadership development offerings? We really want to develop the leaders within our organization. So we would look at cutting Greek Week. We would look at cutting one of the Lions Roar or Lions League programs. Probably we would cut the Lions League program since we get more students coming in the fall semester for Lions Roar. We would have to do an examination, again, as much as I would hate to do it, for those council presidents' assessments, because the reason why we would hate to do it is because for a lot of our council presidents, that's the primary income that they're depending on. You can't get a job anywhere else. So to be able to be a council president and work for their organizations, it's a win-win. So that would be a little bit lower on the list for us to cover. We would definitely look at Greek Week. We would look at a creative way to continue to combine hazing prevention week and collegiate alcohol awareness week. So maybe not bring in, like we did this past fall, maybe not bring in 2 speakers, but bring in one who can kind of tackle both. And then we would have to find some creative ways to do marketing. Knowing that this generation of students is more on the digital age of Instagram and Snapchat. I'm not on the Snap, and I don't really believe in flyers on Instagram. I like the paper flyers, so I'm not gonna touch. But utilizing that and maybe looking for a student worker who can work better with digital media versus print media, so that could save us some money.
That's our time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.